Hello students, welcome to your biology class. Today I am ready with some pictures. See, these are certain pictures. Out of this, here are the page also. Here see some pictures. Even here also some pictures are there. Pictures of some organisms, right? Out of this, these two you are familiar with. Yes, the last chapter we read about one is amoeba, the other is paramecium. Now you have an idea about the cell, right? So these are very small organisms, but I have drawn it bigger. Now if it is the body that is the cell of amoeba or paramecium, these are unicellular, having a single cell. So the body, here you see the outer part, what is it called? This is the covering cell, membrane. Inner to this jelly like fluid, cytoplasm. This spherical structure, nucleus. Protruding part, pseudopodia. Right? And these are vacuoles. Here paramecium, it is quite interesting. See, this is cell membrane. This jelly like fluid which is present, cytoplasm. And here you see, quite interesting, it has got two nuclei, one big and the other small one. So the big one, that is called the meganucleus. And this is micronucleus, small one called micronucleus. And this brush like or hair like structure which are there, this is called cilia, which is helping the organism to move and to take the food, as pseudopodia helps amoeba to move and take food. I have drawn these two, and here it is a brief recapitulation of last chapter which we read, the cell structure and function, right? But here you see the other which I have drawn, some round or spherical structures, some rod shaped, spirals, comma shaped. So this is actually you read about. I'll be discussing again. Here you see as this pear shaped body, one which I have written as Chlamydomonas, here Spirogyra, here braid mold, Penicillium, Aspergillus. So this all which I have written name of some organisms. And here you see which now the world is shaking with this, what is viruses, two of the viruses which I have drawn over here. Yes, today we are going to start the chapter Microorganisms, Friend and Foe. Microorganisms, friend and foe, right? So microorganism, micro means small, organism that is individual. So the organism's body is very small. So as these are small, so it remain unnoticed, but these are present everywhere. Now this is friend and foe, that is it is helpful as well as these are harmful. Let us start with, first I have written bacteria. Bacterial cell also you have read about while we discussed about the prokaryotic cell. Here types of bacterial cell, not the bacterial cell, rather the types, different forms it has been seen. one which I have written coccus form, it is spherical. It may be found singly or double. All of these are unicellular and microscopic, but long chain. So this is one form. Some of these which may look rod shaped. So these are rod shaped. The form is rod shaped. Some of these have the spiral form. So these are called spiral. Some are comma shaped. It looks like a comma. So these are comma shaped. So this is one group of microorganism, that is bacteria. Second one, here you see protozoa. Two of the examples which already you have read earlier as unicellular organism. So I have drawn and labeled the parts here. It becomes easy to identify these parts as we have already read about the structure and function of a cell, right? So this is amoeba, unicellular organism, and the parts already which I have marked. And this is paramecium. This is both of this which are unicellular and microscopic. So these are group examples of another group of microorganism, that is called protozoa. Here another group, that is algae. Some of these algae which are very small, microscopic, and some of these are not microscopic, these are big enough. Here one of this Chlamydomonas, it is unicellular and microscopic. Spirogyra, already you have read this in class 7 in plant reproduction. Spirogyra reproduces by means of fragmentation, right? So there you read about this. So it is multicellular, but it is also microscopic, right? So these are example of another group of microorganism, that is algae. Here you see fungi, bread mold, also you read about this in class 7 while you discussed about, that is saprotropic mode of nutrition. Another, here you see this is penicillium. Penicillium, from this Penicillium notatum, this is the name of this group of organism which we are discussing here. This is fungi. This is algae and this group fungi. Number 4, fungi, right? So bread mold, example of fungi. Penicillium, aspergillus, penicillium, this is from this fungus we got the first antibiotic, that is penicillin. Penicillin antibiotic, nowadays it is very common to us, but antibiotic that we have got from this group of organism, that is penicillium, Penicillium notatum. And who discovered this? Alexander Fleming. Another, here you see I have drawn, this is very big structure as if I have drawn, but certainly these are ultra microscopic. This group of organisms, these are this microorganism, it is also called biological puzzle or biologist's puzzle, viruses. This is also another diagram of virus which I have. This is bacteriophage and this is adenovirus. And now you see all of us, we are this is the discussion of the world, in fact, that is COVID-19, and that is also a group of a virus, right? Corona, which is coronavirus, what we say, this is also an example of virus. Virus are ultra microscopic. Viruses are smaller than the smallest known bacteria. Bacteria itself is a small organism because it is unicellular and is a very small organism. Few micron it is its size. Micron also you have read about the last chapter. And these viruses which are the smaller than the smallest known bacteria. So you can understand how small these are, though I have drawn the diagram very big. Now this viruses which is very peculiar in the sense that is they do not have the cellular structure like the other organism in amoeba and paramecium, which I have shown. Other cells also, it has got a nucleus, cytoplasm. Some of them may not have a nuclear membrane, but certainly this that is chromatin material which is there. And this viruses, just only they have got nucleic acid which is covered by a sheath of protein, so they do not have that type of cellular structure the other organism has. Or they do not show any sign of life when they are out of the host's body. When they enter into the host's body, they use their cell organelles, and they can multiply inside the cell. So it is quite interesting. And here you see they are responsible for number of diseases. They all are pathogenic, they cause diseases. Like one of the disease, the world is shaking with that, right? And the other diseases, say about this influenza, flu, or chicken pox, mumps, measles. These are the examples of the diseases caused by viruses, right? So this group of organisms which I have read about, bacteria, protozoa. Some of the protozoa also able to cause diseases. Bacteria also, algae, fungi, and viruses. So this 5 group of microorganisms which we have read. Number 1, bacteria. Then protozoa, algae. Algae, this is green in color, that is they contain the pigment, and they are able to make their food. And there are other that is along with the green pigment, some of them have red or brown pigment also. So we say red algae, brown algae. So algae, fungi. Fungi example which I have shown along with that, the mushrooms what you see, these are also example of fungi. Viruses, right? So this 5 group of microorganisms. Now where do microorganisms live? All types of environment. So they live in all types of environment. Firstly, they are seen in the air, water, soil, everywhere. And what type of environment? Ice cold climate to hot springs, desert to marshy lands, inside or outside the body of animals, even human beings, may live freely or grow on other organisms' body. They may live freely or they may grow on other organisms' body. Some, like amoeba, lives singly, that is they are living alone, right? While some of them, they may live, like some bacteria or fungi, they may live in colonies. So we have read about different types of microorganisms. Thank you, children.